Hello everyone and welcome to our news video wrapping up all of the news that was released today, Star Trek Day, which is September the 8th. September the 8th is of course the day that we celebrate as Star Trek Day, as it's celebrating, the anniversary of Star Trek's first airing in the US, I might add, because it aired in Canada before that. I also learned today that it aired in Australia almost a full year later. In fact, possibly more than a full year later. That is just interesting. But of course, time is meaningless in the final frontier. Speaking of time being meaningless, we don't have very much of it and we have to go through quite a bit of news that came out. Well, I say quite a bit of news. We had confirmation of things we already knew. We did get some new bits as well. We also got 2 episodes of Star Trek today. The 60th celebrations are almost upon us, as in 2026, Star Trek will be celebrating its 60th birthday. The first thing that is being done to mark this anniversary is on January the 1st at the Rose Parade, which is seemingly, I am learning in real time, a beautiful thing that is done in Pasadena, California, consisting of rose and petal themed floats, as well as marching bands and equestrian units, or horses. There is going to be a celebration of the upcoming Starfleet Academy. Now, this parade ends at the Rose Bowl, which is a football stadium that is very associated and tied with college football. There's definitely a theme, and that theme is that at least part of the celebrations for the 60th anniversary are going to be leaning into the collegiate approach to things, very much in theme with Starfleet Academy. The float itself is said to be Academy themed, so that makes perfect sense to me. And I will say straight there is no confirmation yet on the actual air date of Starfleet Academy. It's just repeating what they've said before, which is early 2026. The theme of the 60th celebrations, apart from being the 60th celebrations themselves, is also that space is for everybody. And across the wave of things that have been released today is this idea that it's reaching out to a very broad, and yes, it has to be said as well, quite a younger audience. Paramount is also partnering with Do Something, which is a youth-focused group that was formed in 1993. Targeted at 13 to 25-year-olds, Do Something is becoming part of the Gold Boldly Green campaign for next year. And that is to encourage younger people to get involved with environmentally conscious activities over the course of the year. I have to say, that is something that's quite cool. Because, for one thing, it's very Star Trek, isn't it? Let's save the planet. But also, and again, reaching out to this theme of bringing in younger viewers, younger audiences, and opening up Star Trek, I think, to new eyes. And yes, I've been dying to say this one, Lego! Lego has released a teaser trailer for what we know will be their Enterprise D model. They didn't show off the Enterprise D yet, they just in their little teaser showed the Lego Captain Picard beaming into the Enterprise D transporter room. And although I am my wallet isn't, but I am very excited for this Enterprise D model. We had a quick chat over at TrekCulture Towers and we said, wouldn't it also be nice if it was like a Lego video game as well, featuring the next generation characters? I'd be down for that, especially because we had a little bit of video game news recently, so it wouldn't be completely out of the bounds of possibility. But yes, this is the first official teaser from Lego, because a lot of us have already seen pictures of the Enterprise D because it's been floated all over online, but this is one of the first official releases. Now, it remains to be seen if this is all they're going to do, if they're going to take the Blue Bricks approach as well and, do a vast array of models, a la Fan Home, Master Replicas, and Eagle Moss. I suppose, of course, it's going to depend on sales, so if you want more, I presume it's a case of make sure you buy this one. Star Trek has been experimenting in other forms of media. That is not to suggest, as I begin now to talk about the digital comics that they are partnering with Webtoon for. It's not to say that this is Star Trek's first foray into comics. Of course, there is ongoing series with IDW, including Lower Decks and the new Voyager Homecoming series as well. But Paramount are going to partner with Webtoon, which is a platform, it is a joint South Korean and American platform that is aimed at digital comics. And also it's one of those ones that it allows users to upload their own work as well. So I have to say, again, learning this a bit on the fly, that kind of sounds a bit cool, that you can yourself be part of the creative process, or you can submit your own comics. I'm not 100% on the details. One thing that Webtoon does, among other things, is that they offer translation of comics into English and other languages. As I said, a joint South Korean-American platform, also allowing users to translate their own comics into other languages. While on the one hand, I'm sort of learning about Webtoon on the fly, I also realize I've seen adaptations of work that was released on Webtoon as well. The Netflix series All of Us Are Dead, I remember being very freaked out watching that a couple of years ago, knowing that that ties back in. For me, as someone who's, learning on really, in the moment, I'm like, oh, there's good content already out here. This makes me quite excited to see what sort of Star Trek stories we're going to see in this kind of format. This very much, again, part of reaching out to wider audiences, because Webtoons seem to be targeted at reading on your smartphone and reading on the fly, but reading, kind of for those of us who spend probably far too long working out our thumbs. I'm excited about this. I do hope that this will be inclusive of the ongoing series, as of course, I am very, very excited, about the fact that I featured in the Lower Decks ongoing comic this year. So up for the idea that this can make comics even more accessible once again to more people. Down at the uncertainty that it might affect ongoing series, but hopefully that's just a case where everything just gets wrapped in together. Then, of course, there's Star Trek Scouts. Somewhere out in the wilds of YouTube, I can hear particular creators just having a complete and utter meltdown into their desks at the idea of another Paramount and Nickelodeon collaboration. I won't lie to you, I was a little bit surprised when I saw this, especially as we are all still a little bit grieving or in stasis over Star Trek Prodigy. However, Star Trek Prodigy faced a challenge, which was everyone was a little bit confused as to who to advertise that show to. It obviously wasn't for the 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, but it also was younger accessible. That made it quite open to, pre-teens and early teenagers, while still obviously dealing with the heady Star Trek stuff. There is no such ambiguity about Star Trek Scouts. Star Trek Scouts is going to be hosted on Blaze and the Monster Machines YouTube channel. Allow me to read you the description from that channel, if you will. Join Blaze, the world's most amazing monster truck, and his driver, AJ, on their Axel City adventures. Whenever there's trouble, Blaze is the truck everyone turns to for help because he can do things no other truck can. He's the fastest truck in town, using his blazing speed to zoom into action, win the race, or save the day. With his knowledge of science and engineering, Blaze can overcome any challenge by transforming into anything. All he needs to become a helicopter, snowblower, backhoe, or even a giant monster truck toaster is the right parts. In a way, it's like Scotty's dream, isn't it? I was all set and prepared to sit there and go, right, I'm going to do a trailer breakdown for you, but then about 25 seconds later, they dropped the first episode. So would you join me for all of the ups and downs for Star Trek Scouts? You have the new Vulcan character, Sprocket, who seems to be inspired by both Spock and Rutherford. He has a robotic extendable arm. He also says things like okie dokie. He's there fitting Captain JR with rocket booster boots in the beginning of the episode. And it's all very fun, if so dangerous in terms of health and safety, because JR then flyers up out of his chair, but he's saved by Rue as she's flying around on her hoverboard, and quite frankly, this looks like a lot of fun. JR clearly has catchphrases. Cosmic, stellar. In fact, Rue gave him a stellar save. What are friends for? Okay, this is clearly, they're targeting the younger viewers, and that is absolutely fine. They detect an incoming asteroid, but it's not just any asteroid. It's a bar of soap from the Bathnar Nebula. Their mission is to discover, to grow, and to boldly go. And I'm not even joking. That's an up from me. Oh yeah, no, you thought I was joking about doing an ups and downs for this. No. It's an episode of Star Trek, folks. Right, then we have On It Like a Comet, JR, does that feel like more than a passing nod to Raffi calling Jean-Luc JL? I think so. There's obviously a bit of a, if not interactive element to this episode, sort of a spin the wheel, kids at home. The first one we land on is a Romulan rubber ducky, and that's an up. I want one of those. They activated the deflector, they fired the Romulan rubber ducky, and it bounces straight off the bar of soap. We pause for a moment for Sprocket to do this and say, farewell, ducky, you will be missed. Next up, we're going to spin the wheel, we're going to fire macaroni and cheese at the bar of soap, but we can't, because it's not there, because that pesky little targ from Kronos is eating it. How did it get aboard the ship? Or the station, I should say. The station that has a slide, by the way. Rue sits there, she scans it with a tricorder as well. And also, did you notice in the background, there's a toy runabout there, which I want for Christmas. The targ, filling itself on macaroni and cheese, burps, and they all laugh a little bit, and Spocker goes, highly cheesy. They're all going to die, aren't they? For the last choice, it's, are you going to use pumpernickel toast to turn that bar of soap into bubbles, or are you going to use a tub of water? Well, they know what they're going to do. They fire water at it, and the bar of soap is transformed into bubbles. The bubbles rain down upon them all. The targ eats one of them, flies up a little bit, and burps. Down. What they've done is they have destroyed an envoy sent from the Bathnard Nebula to possibly make peace with an Earth or Earth-like colony. They have been left unattended by Starfleet, and this is, in fact, one of the most irresponsible things Starfleet's ever done. Oh my goodness, those kids are screwed. Join us next week, will you? Discover, grow, and boldly go. The truth is, folks, I have no idea how we're going to cover this or what we're going to do, but that was fun. I enjoyed it. And the other episode of Star Trek that dropped today is Star Trek Can. The audio series is now available on all of the various audio catchers, including Star Trek's YouTube channel. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that here because we are doing an ups and downs for that. We're going to do it audio format to match the format in which it is being released. I'm quite excited because I haven't done an ups and downs quite like this before. So yeah, join me as we sort of figure it out as we go along. But yes, that will be out during the week. We had hoped to release on Wednesday, then this happened, so we're not entirely sure, but it is coming. We are excited, and if you've had a chance to listen to the first episode, you know, it's good. And I shouldn't sound surprised because I was just like, I don't know what it's going to be like. But no, I enjoyed it. The last couple of bits from this news release today is just, well, not really new. Well, there is one bit of news. Sorry, the one bit is just a reminder that the Star Trek cruise is setting sail in February of 2026. I will be there. Come say hi if you're on it. And the other bit is Star Trek 60, a new website which is being launched. It hasn't launched yet. It's being launched to be a sort of focal hub, if you like, of celebrations for Star Trek's 60th birthday. So do keep an eye out. That will be live, presumably January, if not sooner. We do have other bits in the meantime then. We have New York Comic Con, which is next month. There is due to be a Strange New Worlds panel. There's due to be a Starfleet Academy panel and other surprises as well. Are we getting more kids shows? Who knows? As I say, some people out there are crying, some people are delighted. Chris, for example, loves this because he gets to watch this with his very young son. That's the target audience. That's the thing to remember here. It might not be Star Trek Legacy, but it's shows like this that are going to help Star Trek live long enough to have a legacy. That's everything for our video today, folks. Thank you so much for watching along. What do you think of all of the news? What are you most excited for? And I know a lot of you are going to be saying the Lego, but that's cool too, because I'm also pretty excited for that. You look after yourselves until I see you again. Make sure that you live long and prosper. If you want to get some merch, you can do so at the description. You can do so underneath the description of this video. You're awesome. You're wonderful. I'll talk to you soon. Happy Star Trek Day, folks. See you later.